Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the next episode in our Tasmanian Challenge Local to Global. We have Death's Beginning, our first real big event. A lot of matches already set up, but the main one, of course, is going to be the big title match. Our inaugural champion, Menace to Sobriety, takes on Jester in a death match, as well as Bath Smith versus Avatar will be on the card. And we even have an open challenge, a barbed wire chairs match. So a lot of shit going on. Sorry for the inconsistency in volume on these. I'm trying to work with this microphone. On things like Discord, it's always been like consistent, but in terms of this like using it to record stuff, it's always been a little weird. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I have some notes. I was gonna write these down, but I forgot to record them. Not much happened anyway, but the only real backstage incident was Bass Smith. He pulled a tasteless rib. He farted into his hand and asked people to smell it, and we told him that was fucked up because they do that in England, I guess. I gave him a stern warning, and I think he got a positive response for that. I have not looked at our backstage. I assume it's dog shit. The other thing we did is I forgot to mention these in the last episode, is the ticket sales I went to very cheap in order for us to start gaining pop a lot quicker. Because the quicker we gain pop, we can reset that. Once we can gain pop where it's like, we can adjust it, it'll grow. I also we are rapidly expanding our merchandise. We have no merchandise yet, but this way, these are kind of easy revenue streams, and they may cost us money in the short term, but the idea is hopefully in the long term. A lot of people do this. I know. I just saw Auspicious Aussie. If any of you guys in the TEW verse know him, he's doing another local to global. Shout out to him. I know he has done these tactics before with a deathmatch fed. Not sure how that's going to work, but hey, c'est la vie, when in Rome, all that stuff. But that's it. Let's get into the show proper. Alright, so we have the beginning of the show. We have 18 people. That's a whole 4 more people. That's just, you love to see it. We have Asylum. He's waiting on his opponent as the show starts in his barbed wire chairs match. That chair he has in his picture is wrapped in barbed wire. When you hear the revving of a motorcycle, as Chopper Rourke comes down to the ring to accept his challenge. Chopper Rourke is a pretty big name in Australian wrestling. He was in DIW. I believe he was a member of the Barracudas, which is a stable that was pretty prominent in that company. Pretty much in Tasmania, you're unknown because that's how the game just works. We're the shittiest place ever. There's no spillover. So Chopper Rourke's coming down to accept Asylum's challenge. Let's check his gimmick before we get into that. He's not suitable to use in a face, which is completely unnecessary, but he has a big star quality Menace. He's pretty older, so I would like to use him a lot. He could be a good guy to kind of just have. I don't know if I'll have a storyline for him, but I can create something on the fly if need be. But this match is pretty, I think we just go to this thing. Yeah, and it got a 13. They had great chemistry, and Asylum gets the ring with a stoppage punches. I guess I like to imagine that is not the finish. I'm going to create my own finish now that I see that. This is pretty, rough. The whole idea of a barbed wire chairs match is there's just the chairs with a lot of barbed wire. So, go to town, guys, and go to town they do. I like to imagine the finish of the match is Chopper. He has one of these chairs, but Asylum, he does the, someone's holding the chair right in front of their face. He hits that chair, connects basically a double chair shot to the face, right in barbed wire, gets all up in the shit, and then he just starts hitting him until Chopper basically has to give up, and we wave it off. No more, no more. So Asylum getting a good win in his first match here. Probably one of the bigger guys. A little older on the side, but he just has a lot of credibility to him. Got an 11, so maybe I'm wrong for putting my faith in him, but as a character, I like him a little bit more than Chopper. But it's after the match, as he's standing over Chopper, that someone comes out, and that person is Lloyd Banks. He comes over. He's suddenly attacked with a bat wrapped in barbed wire. That's the trademark of Lloyd Banks. The barbed wire messiah. He's here in Taz. He picks up a microphone as Asylum's kind of just, laying out Chopper. I guess he got out of the ring. He's like, fuck this shit. He says, Asylum, you motherfucker. You think you can wrap one of your chairs in barbed wire? Call yourself a deathmatch worker? I'm the messiah, motherfucker. I live this shit. And just like you said, I'll die in this shit. Next month, I'll put your ass down in a real, honest-to-God, barbed wire match. So no barbed wire wrapped in, chairs wrapped in it. No, we're talking rings of barbed wire, full-on death match wrestling, CZW type of shit. And we have his gimmick. I don't think we have any cartoonish gimmicks. I don't even think Jester is. I forget what his gimmick basis was, but it's certainly not that. But yeah, Lloyd Banks coming and get the Angle's been hitting pretty good. Angles are probably going to be our strong suit for a while. The matches are probably not going to be our strong suit. But, as time goes on, who knows? But yeah, a very good debut from that. And I can't remember our next match. Our next match is The Void versus Simon McBain. And The Void getting a good rating, probably one of the better ratings we've had in the series so far. This match goes about, it was very odd, the introduction of it, in which The Void seemed to have a kind of history with Simon McBain. Although if you asked Simon McBain, and we won't because his promos are fucking dog shit, he wouldn't say he's never even seen The Void before. But The Void, he's kind of, got a Raven-esque thing going on. I'm not sure what that's all about. And even the ending to this match is weird, is because The Void constantly, he is getting most of the heat in this 8-minute contest. Just kind of taking it to Simon. Simon's a little out of place. But The Void keeps telling him, you gotta hit me. He's asking Simon to hit him. He's basically pleading. And, at the 8, minute, and 45 second, I guess he just says, if he's not going to do it, I will. And he hits him with the nullifier. I'll have to check. I got to check what all these moves are, because that's pretty cool. You can see what moves, mean. But I should write that down on my little notepad, but I will probably forget to do it later. But very good match. Good match. This was a basic, let me see does it say the booking detail? No, it's just the dirt sheet. This was just regular hardcore. Basically every match has to be hardcore. No wild brawls here, brother. It has to be some real shit. But this kind of gives a breather, nothing too spectacular. In terms of the gimmick, large boost to menace. I guess that's good for him. I don't know if he has any menace, but God, look at just a sad guy. There's currently a helicopter or something, I think, over my house. I think they're looking for Simon McBain. He is not dead. Thankfully, no one has died yet, but we will keep that in touch. As we have a couple of promos here, we basically two. These are uploaded before this show instead of post show, and we see Menace to Sobriety and the Jester. We start off with Menace to Sobriety. He's a bit tired after his match last week at Uncensored. He's still taking a breath for the cameraman. He pauses, he sees him, he's going to talk to him. By the way, I don't know, I haven't uploaded the first video. I'm not going to do Australian accents. I respect the continent too much to try and do a really shitty accent, so just remember all these guys are Australian. Most of them are. But anyway, he says, listen, I know I ain't getting any younger, but I've been around enough to think I've seen everything but a hardcore clown. That's a new one even for me. Regardless, Jester, don't think I've been forgetting about you. I followed your career for a bit. I do that with everybody. So taking you down a peg, the only thing better would be winning that new Taz championship. Then, and he holds up his little beer, drinks will be on me. And Jester, meanwhile, he's outside the venue. We have this old, tossed-out, circus tent that we basically just stole from the trash heap and refitted to look like a really shitty, tent for Jester to have. He probably makes his entrances out of it, too, on occasion. But he says, Menace to Sobriety. What a lovely name for a lovely man. I can't wait to meet you in that ring, just like I met that young Graves man. Then I put him in one. Our match will be great. And then when I win that shiny trophy, I'll show you to all my new friends in a fucking body bag. So kind of, Jester's promo. I'm kind of going with like a heel doink, but he can say fucking shit. So that's kind of what I'm going there. Not the most creative with that, but hey, it's the Jester. What do you want me to do? And then I believe our next match is going to be the Abattoir and then Baz Smith, and this match is a hard hitting affair. This is a basically an Aussie rules type of match. The only way to end things is in the pinfall. So, a lot of hard hitting action, a lot of, going to the outside, brawling, using anything that's not nailed down. Not necessarily full deathmatch style, Even CZW wouldn't just there's Tournament of Death, but I wasn't the most deathmatch build, but I respect the art, and I definitely watched some as a kid. They would have regular matches in their regular shows. Unless it's Tournament of Death, not every match is going to be a thumbtack in your butthole match, and this match is basically that. It's more kind of hard hitting, but Baz, he does go for the weapons because Abador's got a little bit of height on him. I think a little, maybe I think he has the weight advantage. Baz is a little heavier. But this does end as the manager. Dutch is out there. Poor guy. I think the worst thing about being a manager in Taz is that there are no rules, so if you just want to beat that guy up, you can just beat him up. But unfortunately, there's other rules too. As Baz Smith finds out, Dutch comes out and he nails him in between the eyes with some kind of weapon. We can't really see what it is. We'll find out later. But Abattoir then he puts him in the Killing Joke. It's a great submission. I love that. Shout out to Batman. And he wrenches in it, and then Baz Smith, he's already been knocked out. He's passed out. And the ref calls for the bell. By submission, Abattoir is our winner. So the first, will this feud continue? Who knows? It got a pretty decent rating of a 13. We can't ask for much better than that. Especially at the stage we're at with a lot of our guys who are pretty shit. Baz's gimmick got a poor, which is not great, but, Baz can work on that. Hopefully he's not gonna, be kind of a dick backstage. I always have plans. Basically, I was kind of trying to hint that this is a storyline going forward, and it will be a storyline going forward. And then we have the entrances to our main event. It's time, everybody. Roll those drums. It's time for a death match. It's going to be Menace to Sobriety who comes out first. He's throwing free beers to all 18 people. You may not have bought much tickets, but you see some blood and you get some free beer. What can you say? Jester, he basically does the doink entrance. He comes out. He's all energetic. He sees the camera and he just frowns and methodically walks to the ring. And, we hype up that, this is an interesting matchup between these two. Not really. Jester cut his teeth in Zen, but even in Zen, he was pretty hardcore for them. And he eventually left. We could say he left because maybe he was too extreme for them. That's not, the that's not the shoot version, but kayfabe works, brother. While Menace to Sobriety, he cut his teeth in DIW, basically the furthest thing from Zen you could be, but these guys are a lot similar. And then we have our death match, and if you could imagine a death match, whether in a negative or positive connotation, that's what you're going to get out of this match. Menace, he's a lot older. He's immediately going to the weapons. He's going to hit him with one of the spots I like to imagine is, obviously Jester's busted open. These two guys busted open probably in the first minute of the match, and he's his head's busted open. He's got that face paint. What's good for that beer? He pours a little beer in there. That must feel great if you're Jester. Jester, meanwhile, he himself maybe has some clown theme items, which really get some heat. This crowd is not too into the idea of the Jester holding this championship. So just seeing some clown-based items, he probably has a rubber nose that looks like one of those stress balls, but it's been filled with thumbtacks, and he just throws it at Menace, hits him right in the face. And then, of course, you have your standard. You have some light tubes. I love me a light tube spot. I can't remember what Menace to Sobriety's finishing move is, but, he's probably hits it, because, fuck psychology. You're going to hit your finisher a couple times here, buddy. I mean, nothing crazy. We're not the Young Bucks, but hey, we got to give people a show. I like to imagine it's just the White Russian leg sweep. So, we do that through a couple of well-placed light tubes. That'll get the crowd pumping. But the ending of this match, I know that's what you want to hear about the ending, is Jester looks like he's on the ropes and looks like Menace is going to win that championship when all of a sudden there's a commotion of the 18 people. They get out of the way, they get out of their seats because this gigantic maniac monster of a man even comes down and he just nails Menace, who happens to be outside the ring. He hits him with the sickest fucking lariat you've probably ever seen. I mean, that guy is 42. That could kill that motherfucker. And he hits him with that lariat, and he's basically out. And he throws in the ring. Jester has just started laughing. You know, he's dropped the heel doink persona. He's just laughing whatever he's planned, and he reaches over. Say it ain't so. He gets the 3 count. And in our first ever death match, Jester, with the help of Maniac Monster, of course, he hits the punch. Oh, he also hits the punchline. I forgot to say too. He wins the Taz Championship, the first ever match. He also wins the first tournament. It's not an official tournament, but you can add that to your resume. That's always nice. We had we have some ratings here. So yeah, but Jester has won the title. Trying to see, this is basically he needs to be booked. He gets a bonus when he looks dominant, and I mean, look at that face. He's getting pushed, brother. Especially when we get to this next end of the show angle here. But yeah, Taz is the first Taz champion is gonna be Jester. I don't know how when this goes up. It kind of was obvious once I was describing things that Menace would not be the champion, but he is a kind of legend. I think he does actually have some pop in Tasmania. We also had a creative finish. I managed to score that. A Jester had to be the winner. That did not change booking plans. I guess I'll just spoil that for you right now, but that was very helpful in getting us to a 16 here. I forgot. I thought that said Maniac Monster. I'm like, I guess just Menace was so bad he overtook his, but he got a 12, which is significantly better. Jester had a 17. In a death match, what can you do? And then we have the end of the show angle as Jester laughs. This Maniac Monster, he's not done with Menace's sobriety. He hits the sickest power bomb, probably through, we just get a table, we stack it with shit. We just stack it all kinds of shit and just slam that fucking him through it. He's out. He's done. He could be dead. I mean, he's not dead, but he might as well be dead. But as Maniac Monsters, he's posing for the crowd. The crowd pops a little bit as Ollie Graves, the man that Jester defeated, he gets on the back of Maniac Monster. He starts choking him out, but Jester ends his hope. He hits a light tube on the back of Graves, and Maniac grabs him by the neck, throws him over, hits him with his own power bomb, and they start putting the boots to Ollie Graves. Finally, the last guy in the babyface locker room, Asylum. He may be out, he may have Lloyd Banks on his mind, but he is not stopping. He's slowly making his way down to the ring. But suddenly, Wrecker and the Fixer, Fast Eddie, from this point on, just interrupt this real quick. Fast Eddie is going to be known as the Fixer, which was his old name, if you know any Seaver's lore. They just leave him in a puddle of blood. They beat the shit out of him with weapons and just their fists to these two young guys. They know their way around it, especially after Asylum. They probably beat him with his own chair. I figure he gets that a lot, especially when he was in TEW. As the 4 men surround the new champion, Maniac in the back, the two next to him, Jester's laying down. He finally gets a microphone. He's holding his title, and he says, "Take a look at these men." And he's pointing at Menace, Ali Graves, Asylum, the heroes of hardcore. Well, they're dead and buried, and you all know what happens when you die. You go to hell. Well, maybe I'm a Jester, but I am the king of hell. And this is my court, my army. This is Hell's Court. And, we have the name drop on our new stable as we end the show. But yeah, a scary ending to the show as we have, What did I just CZW had a couple amount of stables. I remember the Blackout is the one I remember the most from the early days, but also the Hate Club, all that. So I thought in tradition I have to have my own stable. But yeah, the official stable right now is Jester, Wrecker, Fast Eddie, and Maniac Monster. That's a formidable army, and these baby faces who are more concerned with smoking, drinking, and I guess killing themselves. I'm not sure how exactly they're supposed to fight back, but we will have to see. We end the show, and we got a 17. I think that's better than our last show. I think our last show had a 13. I could be wrong. I'll have to check back on that. But yeah, that was a very good show. I was surprised. Again, nothing has gone wrong. Knock on wood. Literally knocking on wood because my desk is wood. But yeah, I think the last bit of the show, I'm going to. Well, we got to finish the show. We will adjust the locker room. I'm definitely gonna. I'm gonna go the void, and then I'm going to thank the jester. I'm gonna go with Chopper. Jester already got the title, and we thanked him last time. I'm going to praise them both for being good, and Chopper did great. Financial reports, lost a lot of money. We're about 4,000 in the hole, not the worst. Recap, we have gotten a point. We've gotten a point in Tasmania. That's great. We need to rise up. Rise up, Tasmaniacs. We need you. We need your money. Spend it now, or the company will die in 3 years. But yeah, getting 1 point is awesome. And that's the end of the show. I will see you for a couple post-show things, and yeah, we'll get on it. I just wanted to quickly assess that indeed we have gotten a decent review from TEW.com. I can't imagine the guy, which one of those 18 people was the reviewer for that show, but God bless him for giving us a decent review. Let's see, 4,000 in debt. We're going to have asylum in 20 days, so nothing bad there. The economy is very weak in Oceania, and our economics is going to have a bad thing. Just to show you, where is merchandise? We are rapidly growing. We get 25 progress a week. Again, 125. I'm going to probably hit this a couple times. We should hit this pretty quickly, and we can go to the next one. We have no merchandise, honest to God, but, hey, anything that works will usually work. Even if it doesn't, I don't think, I'm not going to go all the way with it, waka waka, but we should be able to make a decent profit off of that, and our ticket sales. Where are our ticket prices? Here we go. I have them at very cheap. I know the mega gaming thing is free, but I don't want to put us so far in the hole. I want us to, pay for something. If we really start kind of not gaining momentum in a way we hope, we can always set it to free, but for now, I think we will, we will do that. Does it say if we have any momentum? I don't know, they kind of changed that system. It is not at all prestigious, and we have no momentum, so we are still in the zero in that, but hey, as time moves on, we'll get that. It's stable. We have the stable. I will fix Fast Eddie's thing is there. There's the logo for the Hell's Court. I used Bing AI. I like to use their AI thing for... You'll see some actual handmade logos there too, but sometimes I just get lazy, and for TEW content, I'm fine with it. I'm not the biggest fan of AI, but hey, what can you do? But here's our lineup so far. The important part, they have a little momentum on the side, but, we just started the company, so what can you do? But, we have the champion, Jester. We have Fast Eddie, Wrecker, and Maniac Monster. Let me change Fast Eddie's name. I'll just do it on camera. It does not have his thing. Where is it? It's freaking me out because I'm looking at the wrong screen. He will now be the Fixer. So we have Wrecker and Fixer. Those are two interesting names to have. Maybe they'll be a tag team or something. Yeah, we'll do an alter ego. And we'll just use it since he wants to be Fast Eddie. But yeah, that's about it. We have our next event is It's Hot in Hell, but then of course we have Uncensored, so these two we'll be waiting for. Obviously, this is the bigger event. So, everybody, thank you all for watching. Good show. Sorry if I'm a little weird sounding. I just took a little bit of medicine, so my brain. I'm trying to get this out before I just crash out and burn. So there's all that. I know. But yeah, we have It's Hot Now. That's going to be our next event. Thank you guys all for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, support the channel, support TEW, support other content creators. Watch every TEW series. I know 64. As I uploaded this, a good friend of mine, he just said he's doing a 5SSW series, which is going to be awesome. That's a series I consider doing myself, but I'm glad someone else is doing it. It's going to be great. Just remember, subscribe for more, and I will see you in the next episode of... Let me click on it for dramatic effect. Come on, damn it. Oh, wrong fucking... Uncensored. There we go. Uncensored will be our next episode.